Hello, everyone. My name is Julie McVey, and this is Unordinary Made Ordinary, where we talk about extraordinary experiences of everyday people. And I thought I'd come on and share another one of my astral experiences. It's been a bit of a dry spell. I've been distracted for weeks, and so I think that's why it's been harder for me to go out of body. Um, so I'll just get into it. After plenty of sleep, I got up for a few minutes and then I went back to bed to meditate. And I'm going to describe my meditation a little bit in more detail this time. So meditation was a little bit challenging for me. My mind was wandering and I kept gently calling it back to, the quiet presence and stillness. And I did this for several minutes and I kept having to sort of call it back. And then I began practicing moving my energy in my body from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, back and forth. This is sort of like an energy clearing that I'm now doing. And it's to clear any possible blockages and to get it just moving and to remove all negative. I started using intention to remove all negative energies from my body and that might be attached to me and to return to where they came from. And then I called back my own energies to myself that I may have put out there and just called them all back to myself. And I requested a protective golden sphere to surround me and enclose me, commanding all negative energies or just energies lacking truth to remain outside of my sacred space. And also allowing positive energies with truth who also had my vibrational frequency or higher to come forward with any information to offer me. So I reminded myself of my intention. So this is kind of what I've been using lately to go out of before I go out of body. I now go out of body. I move away from my body, command clarity, control, conscious, and alert. I command go inward. If I get out of body at this point, this is my plan. It's all my intention. Command to go inward. And my new goal these days is I'm requesting all my pre-birth memories before my very first incarnation here to return to me. So not before Julie, but my very first incarnation on planet Earth. So I am requesting all my pre-birth memories to return to me. I want to know my true essence and why I chose to come here in the first place. I bring back to my body and fully remember all my experiences while out of body. So these are some of the things I say like several times as I'm trying to relax more and more. And then, so at some point I began to mentally sway my non-physical body within my physical. And I almost immediately began to feel slight motion within. So that seems to work for me quite well, the swaying. And I say mentally, now I go out of body. Now I go out of body, and I'm just relaxing and swaying and saying, now I go out of body. And that's all that's on my mind. And I do this for several minutes in hopes of a direct OBE. So I started to become tired. So I thought, okay, plan B. I'm going to try to go to do a wild, which is a wake-induced lucid dream. So, and then I figure if that doesn't work and I don't go into a lucid dream directly, there's still the chance of going to into an OBE from a lucid dream. So if I hopefully become lucid in a dream, I like to go into out of body from lucid dreams. Those are fun to do, kind of easier to do. Worst case scenario is that I have some vivid dreams to journal. It seems like if you put a lot of intention into this and you start with one and you move through them, at least you're going to have some vivid dreams that are fun to journal and will help you in the future with your lucidity when you're sleeping. Okay, so what next? Okay, for the wild, I began to imagine an ocean. That's what I just felt like imagining. And so I try to keep imagining it until it starts to become more and more real in my mind. And while I'm doing this, I begin to realize that my consciousness is slipping like over and over again. So I'm focusing on the image, and then the consciousness is slipping, you know, falling asleep, getting less lucid. And I remind myself over and over, mind awake, body asleep, mind awake, body asleep. And I'm trying that for a while, but next thing you know, I'm in a dream. So, okay, you know, worst case scenario, maybe I'll have a dream to journal, but what happened? So this is my dream. So I'm at an office, which is a common dream for me, to be at an office working. So there's coworkers there, and they ask me to do a task, but I want to do a different task, and they pressure me. So I walk toward the door like quickly in defiance, and I kind of look back at them like, I'm out of here. And I walk outside toward my car. Looking for my car is another common theme in my dreams. I usually lose my car and I just can't find it. So that's supposed to be a trigger for me to become lucid, but I did not come lucid just at that point. So I immediately find my car and I glance back at the office, like one last look of defiance, you know, and I get in the car, I turn the key, and I think this is kind of the moment my lucidity starts to increase. And I recognize my power in that moment, and that I don't need a key to turn this car on. And then I step on the accelerator hard and turn sharply. And that's when my lucidity shoots up and I pop out of my body. So it's like barely becoming lucid, but immediately I just pop out, and I recognize right away, I become conscious right away, the familiar sensation of the loss of gravity. And then as my body just feels like it's floating in space, I usually will really strongly feel my arms floating. Those are the first things of body parts that I notice floating, you know. And so my lucidity is just increasing more. I start clapping my hands, which is really common for me to do in all of my out-of-body experiences, to really sharpen my senses and wake up more. And I demand clarity, alert, you know, and I'm rubbing my hands together. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to start, remember to feel my astral body, my non-physical body, and I feel my face, and my hair is long. I'm like, okay, it was long last time I felt it too. One time I felt it out of body, and it's like, oh, I have long hair. And I'm trying to really take more careful notice now of my physical features. So I'm very conscious because I want to bring more back. And my skin feels firm and soft, like, but no bone structure. It almost feels like rubber in a sense. And like, oh, it's a weird feeling face, like almost like, I don't know, spongy or something. So, and I feel my eyes, and they kind of feel normal. I feel some small lashes. I guess I wasn't wearing makeup in the astral. And then I feel my lips, and they feel normal, and like my physical lips. My face is oval, and I'm like, okay. And then I go to my nose. I'm like, this is not my nose. It kind of reminds, the shape of it, when I'm feeling it very carefully. It reminds me of the noses in Avatar. So I don't know what kind of nose that is, but it wasn't mine. So anyway, maybe if I show up as a blue avatar out in the astral. I have seen my astral arms with electricity in them before, and bluish electricity running through them. So I don't know. Okay, so I begin saying more firmly, clarity, and then I start kicking my legs So as I'm floating there in space, and then my vision comes in all of a sudden, and it's really sharp. And right before me, a portal opens up. And in the portal, I see anime. So I don't watch anime. My kids do, but I don't watch anime. And this is not the first time this has happened. And I'm thinking to myself consciously, anime again? What is this thing with anime? Anyway, I tried to gain more clarity and raise my lucidity, but unfortunately, I faded back to body. And I was lying there for a while thinking, let's just stay still, see if I can go back into it. And then I just had too much on my mind and I just said, forget it, I'm just gonna get up. But I ended up asking some astral travelers about this whole anime thing. Like maybe they'd have some advice. So they said some of the suggestions that were offered up was, when we begin to become lucid, we may see distortions of what's actually there. So if we gain more clarity and raise our lucidity, the false images will fade and real figures will begin to appear, which actually is like what I do in a dream state. So if I'm dreaming and I become lucid, in the very beginning, in a dream state, when I become lucid, I'd say, okay, bye dream, go away dream, like I'd verbalize it. But now, as soon as I become lucid in a dream, everything fades automatically. It's like, and then usually nothing comes into view though. I'm usually just in like a gray space sitting there, or I go back to body and feel all the vibrations and then get up out of body from there. So, and then another suggestion was that one person was saying, so they'll fade and the real images will appear, which will often be people or fae. So like fairies, from some people call it Middle Kingdom or fae. So these kinds of entities, I guess, will appear sometimes. And some theories were given that they are camouflaging themselves on purpose, or it could be a distortion caused by the different frequencies of both ours and theirs. And then we just have to tune in and to some more to their frequency to see them for who they really are. And it did get me thinking though, like if we just as I was saying, like when I'm in a dream and I become lucid and all the dream elements fall away, and they're suggesting, which makes sense, that you're seeing these cartoon characters. They also had mentioned, and I've seen cartoon characters or anime or, unicorns or different things like that, I guess, that if we focus and tune in and raise our frequency, those fade. But what if when it's suggested that the true images will appear, people or fae, maybe those aren't even the true images. Maybe we can increase our lucidity even higher and see who's behind the people and the fae. I don't know, just a thought. How much will change, our perceptions change as we continually increase our lucidity. Anyway, so that's my story. I know it's different than some of the others, but I didn't really go anywhere, but it was very peculiar. So I guess I'll sign off. I hope you enjoyed this description of my astral projection that I had this morning, actually. So I'm going to just put this right up. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like the type of content we're sharing on the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you are alerted to future videos, which are mostly me interviewing other people who have had just fascinating experiences, all kind of different experiences on the channel. So, all right, guys, I'm going to take off. I hope you are all having a lovely day or evening wherever you are on the planet or off the planet, and I'll see you next time.